Short version of this review is go and see it. It's really good. It's really funny. It's one of those really fun movies, but it's got a lot of heart and it's cleverer than you might think. I'm not going to go into spoilers here, but I am just talking and improvising with no sort of set plan. So if I do mention something that is a bit of a spoiler, then I apologise. The light has massively changed. So if I do mention a spoiler, I apologise. I'm not going to do it deliberately, but yes, it might happen. So if you're really that worried about it, then see the movie. Don't if you haven't seen it yet, then don't watch this video before seeing the movie if you want to see the movie. Because really, what's interesting to talk about the Lego Movie is the themes of it. If you know anything at all about it, then you know that the plot is that Evil Lord Business is the enemy of the Lego universe, and Lego are painting with fairly broad strokes here. You know, we're not being too subtle. There's other elements that you can read into it, but essentially what we're saying here is that business is the enemy of creativity, and I can totally get behind that philosophy. But to be honest, I'm a strong believer that creativity is heavily stifled by the sort of standard business practices that it has to conform to, and trying to find a way of being creative outside those practices is actually really, really difficult. It shouldn't be, but it is. But that's why YouTube's great. It's why stuff like YouTube is great, which I'll talk about in another video. But yeah, this is become we had a little bit of a lull, probably 90s 2000s, where business controlled entertainment and it became a bit shit. And there was no other outlet, but now we have the internet. Now the internet's a huge thing, and YouTube and Vimeo and a million other channels I can't be bothered to list, where creatives can make stuff and put it out and just get it made. It's the variety hour sort of theatre attitude of, we just want to do what we want to do, and now you can do it on the internet. So film and television has really opened up, and will just continue to open up as it goes on. So the Lego Movie takes place in this entirely Lego universe, which has been brainwashed into this sort of conformist mindset of the people. So the people just sort of go through, follow their instructions and do what they're told by President Business, who's in fact Evil Lord Business, who's introduced that way. And our hero is Emmett, the most generic of all the Lego people. The Lego people are all the brainwashed drones of this society, but Emmett is particularly plain. He's a plain yellow-faced man. He's one of the few plain yellow-faced people who doesn't have anything else drawn on them. Curiously, I don't know if it could be deliberate, but curiously, him and Superman are the only two that actually are that sort of plain yellow face. But yeah, he has no distinguishing characteristics. He's completely bought into this society. He's completely brainwashed, and he kind of just blends in so much that even the other drones don't really notice him or don't really have anything to say about him. So he's the bottom of the sort of the drone food chain, and he inadvertently becomes embroiled in the rebellion by the master builders. It gets a bit more complicated after that, and like I say, I won't go into it all, but yeah, he gets into the rebellion as the kind of chosen one and destined to end Evil Lord Business's reign. In terms of the deeper meaning, there's a lot of deeper elements to this. There's a lot of surprises and a lot of clever moments, and the ending especially is really not necessarily unexpected, because you kind of see it coming. It's hinted at a lot, and you kind of see it coming a little bit, but it's a lot cleverer than you'd expect from what you're thinking is just going to be a silly sort of kids movie. This movie ends up being a lot more than that. The movie is obviously painting with fairly broad strokes at this point. If you know anything about the movie, you know that Lord Business is the enemy, and essentially that's essentially the theme of the movie, is that it's saying that their business is the enemy of creativity, Lego being the ultimate creative tool, and he just wants it to conform. So yeah, business as being the enemy of creativity is the broader message, or the broad subtle message of it. There's other elements as well that can be drawn into it. Its simplicity or its blatantness seems like sort of comic genius, or seems like that kind of comic parody way of being blatant about its subtleties. But that ends up making a lot more sense once there is the end reveal, which I'm not going to tell what it is. But yes, it's that idea that the line between comic genius or satirical genius and the observations of a 12-year-old is very thin, which I thought was quite interesting. But the broader idea of business being the enemy of creativity is something that I definitely can get behind. I definitely understand that as someone who attempts to be a filmmaker, attempts to work in that sort of industry. You do see that a lot, and this the producing side of things, the things that have to be done, the hoops that have to be jumped through, the red tape that has to be, and all the bureaucratic nonsense does have a tendency to kill the love of the work you're doing, and it does bog everything down. And as you can see from my 80s video there, when I said that movies used to be better in the 80s, if you can remember back those heady weeks of yesteryear. I think that's actually what's gone wrong. Is a lot of business practices say, well, we want to. There's too many people thinking, how can we make money when they're making a film, rather than just how can we make a good film. So that's why we get endless sequels and remakes and all this other crap. There's adaptations of things, and nothing original gets made in films, especially because no one's thinking with that mindset, with the creative mindset. Everyone's thinking with the business mindset. So yeah, it's a message that I can really not relate to, but really get behind, and I like that idea that's what they're saying in this sort of big blockbuster movie. They're saying, "Ha, look at this." Obviously, the movie ironically doesn't necessarily fit the mold. It's not like the movie is an outlandish. Well, the movie is an outlandish idea that seems insane when you watch it, but obviously it's based on the Lego toy franchise, which is huge. So it's a business decision probably to make the film, and then the filmmakers tricked them by making this clever idea. I don't know. It's the movie. Movie is very odd sort of mindset to think about. That whilst it is denigrating that business idea of thinking, is obviously a very business and marketing led idea to make a Lego movie. Lego probably must be the biggest toy in the world. I'm assuming. I don't know. I'm just assuming it must be. But that is the Lego Movie. Yes, definitely would recommend it. Don't want to go too much into spoiler territory. I just wanted to talk about that theme of business, because all the business work that I have to do really kills my enjoyment. I write less and less the more business work I have to do, and it really does bog everything down and take away the creativity and take away what should be a creative process. It really kills it. But that's my opinion on that. I could go on about that for days, but I won't, thankfully. So those are my thoughts. Post your thoughts or in the comments, or post this on Twitter and respond. Find me on Twitter and comment and say I'm an idiot, or I'm right, or I'm a genius. I'd much prefer you to say that I'm just saying I'm a genius, and that will just brush over everything else. But yes, no, please do comment and like and subscribe. Get me words out. Comment and like and subscribe, and check out my other videos, and look at my channel and Twitter and Facebook. But yeah, check out my other videos. I'm going to hopefully post some more in the next couple of days, or today when this one goes up. I don't know when this one's going up. Losing track of time completely. But yeah, thanks for watching, and that's the end of that. The end.